Welcome back to another episode of Chainsaw Man, a place where devils and fiends run the world. I'm interested just like you guys on what's going to happen next with Denji because the world seems extremely crazy when it comes to this story. But if you guys haven't seen my last video of Chainsaw Man, make sure you check that out. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for those who haven't caught up yet. Now let's begin episode 2, Arrival in Tokyo. At the beginning of this episode, the first thing we see is a yellow eye that has a red pupil looking directly at the camera. But it's not just an eye, it's Makima staring outside the car window. She seems like she's thinking about something. Denji and Makima started to have a conversation, and Makima tells Denji because she's taking care of him, he has to say yes or woof to answer her. And she goes on to say that she doesn't need a dog that says no, or she'll put them down. Bro, she is straight ruthless. This line right here shows you what type of woman she is. She's all about business, and that's it. And if anything gets in her way, she will not hesitate to take action. I'm glad I'm watching the anime because it shows you how dark she is by tone of voice and subtle facial expressions. She takes off her jacket and hands it to Denji, and they arrive at the food court because Denji is very hungry. Makima asks Denji how did he become a devil. Denji looks down and says his dog sacrificed his life for him and gave him a second chance of life to achieve his dreams. Makima told him that his best friend is still alive inside of him because she has a good sense of smell. It's funny how she says that Denji and everybody else is dogs, but she's the one that have dog features like the high sense of smell. I just think that was funny. She can smell the difference between humans and devils. So the scenes we're watching right now is really about building rapport with one another as we watch Makima feed Denji noodles. Denji realizes he likes her a lot, even more because he had never had a woman to take care of him like his mother did. You can even see the genuineness in his facial expression when he says this comment. So we now enter the Devil Hunter headquarters as Makima explains that there are over 1,000 devil hunters in Tokyo and public safety is imperative to all the civilians. Now the whole time that she is talking, trying to explain how the headquarters works and how the business works, Denji doesn't even hear anything she is saying. The only thing he's thinking about is how he wants to date Makima. And just to let you know, I want you to understand something about Denji. He's not really obsessed with her. It seems like he is, but he's not. He's actually obsessed with female connection and the energy they bring because he never had it. So Denji meets his new partner, Aki Hayakawa. But Denji was shocked because he thought he was going to be working with Makima and got dragged to the door by his new partner. But Makima watched Denji have a temper tantrum on the floor as she looks at him with an emotionless facial expression that says something about her. She then walks up to Denji and kneels down and tells him if he does this job well, they can definitely work together. And she proceeds by tying his tie. So when Denji and Aki left, they enter a dark alley and Aki punched him in the face and says leave tomorrow and don't come back because he knows that the only reason why he's here is because of Makima. Denji gets up off the floor and runs straight to Aki and kicks him straight in the balls and told him he wants to get treated like a decent human. This is actually really funny. It's pretty cool. This also shows you the grit that Denji has, and he's not willing to back down from no fight. They immediately return back to headquarters and Makima reveals to Aki that Denji is a human that can transform into a devil. But if he leaves or run away, he will be disposed of like a devil. Bro, that is a cold line to start your first day at work. He's stuck in this organization no matter how he feels or think about it. That's crazy. So Denji started to live with Aki, eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches, taking a clean bath, and he can wash his clothes whenever he wants to. The next morning, Denji went on his first mission to dispatch a fiend. Once the two men entered the room, a devil with fangs on the side of his cheeks was trying to attack Denji, but Denji quickly defended himself, annihilating the fiend. But Aki was mad that he didn't turn into Chainsaw Man to eliminate the fiend and left the building. Then Denji reveals that the only reason why he didn't turn into Chainsaw Man is because he didn't want to get blood on the new magazines. This shows how much Denji lacks a woman in his life that he would go out his way just to save a nude magazine, and proceeded to look through it after Aki left. He then utters to himself, saying how much he wants to touch Makima's boobs. Once they return back to headquarters, Makima assigned Denji with his new partner named Power. She is a fiend as well, but still has control over her personality and mind. Next, we see Denji and Power on the top of the roof of their second mission, looking for the devil that's causing harm to the civilians. I really like Power because she has a bright personality that can compensate for a lot of dark and emotionless characters in the story. She seems less serious and more fun, exciting. Power spots the sea cucumber devil and jumped off the top of the roof, smashing it with the hammer built out of blood. Denji watches her on top of the roof like this girl is really crazy as she laughs insanely out of control. And episode 2 ends. So this episode was really about building rapport with Makima, Aki, and Power. So I knew it wasn't going to be heavy action in the core episode. But if you guys really enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe if you want more.